All right, Yelawolf.
Yeah.
War Story, Trunk Muzik Forever.
Yeah. It's out. It's crazy, man.
You know, I think it's funny. The first time we talked was in 2011, and that was right before Radioactive dropped. And a lot of the things we talked about in that conversation, I don't think at that point in time I realized how much of a innovator and trendsetter you actually are, or were about to be. You know, a lot of things you were doing in hip hop, from trunk music to Radioactive, was bringing different worlds together. You know, it was bringing country music into the rap space. It was doing a more evolved version of, you know, rap rock collaboration. And since then, we've had Jelly Roll. Since then, we've had Post Malone. Does it feel like you are as ahead of the curve now when you look back as you were then?
You know, when I'm making music, I will say that, like, look, before Trump Music, I did this project with Malay, right? I did this project with Malay. I was introduced to Malay by Kawan Prather. When me and Malay locked in, we did this project called Arena Rap, right? And Arena Rap was this, it was Love Story, you know, 6 years before Trump Music. Actually, the records that we recorded during the making of Arena Rap were literally like 6 to 7 years before Love Story, which was my sophomore album on Shady. And but like, I was given an ultimatum, man. You know what I mean? Like, what we were doing back then was like, no one was getting it. L.A. Reid, I know that L.A. Reid, Lil Wayne, DJ Khaled, they were at this show in Atlanta, at this sold out show that we had. You know, we couldn't lock down a deal, and Kawan was like, man, just do a rap record, and you know, if I can't get a deal with you in 6 months, you could walk. So I went and did Trump Music, you know, shaved a mullet mohawk, put on a different look, and then I marketed that like the way that I felt like that needed to look, and everything that I crafted around Trump Music was how I felt like that needed it, as much as it needed to sound like a certain thing, it needed to look like a certain thing as well. And I've always done that I'm a very visual artist. So, you know, when you're making records, you don't, and it's not like I'm setting out to like, oh, I'm about to set a trend, or I'm doing this, doing that. I'm trying to be visual with the music itself. And in doing that, there's been a lot of seeds that have been planted. Those seeds have been taken and ran with. But like, hey man, I'm not the first person to, I didn't come up with music, you know what I mean? Like, I'm as influenced as anyone else after me, or because I'm influenced by those before me. You know what I mean? Like, my grandmother and Mama, we talking about Barbara Jean in the morning, you know, making bacon, listening to Muddy Waters. That's my shit, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was influenced by. So I've always been about like reaching up, you know what I mean? Like, my first features were like Raekwon, Bun B, you know, Big Boy, Outkast. You know, I reached up, not next to me, not below me, up. You know what I mean? It's just to show respect. I think that part is like, sadly, like kind of like fading away. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why people try to wash off. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's little, everybody's small, everybody's baby. You know, they're little. Everybody's little. It's like, you can't, like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, I was Lil Wayne when I was, you know, a skateboarder. You know what I mean? My name is Michael Wayne Aight. I was Lil Wayne, Lil John, Lil Sean. You know, everybody was Lil because we were Lil in the crew. But you grow up. I ain't Lil no more. You know, I'm fucking You know, it's just crazy, man. I don't know. I don't understand the whole the obsession with staying young. I always like you know, paying attention to what's happening above you, and like also like helping younger people to evolve themselves, and like it's just it's perpetual, shit to grow.
I don't know. I mean, I just look at, trial by fire to me that set a lot of seeds. If we're going to, take your looking up, reaching up, and turn those seeds into the fruits of what can bloom. I hear country rap all over the place now. I think country rap hybrids are mainstream mainstays. They're expected almost at this point in time. I don't think that was the case when Trial by Fire dropped.
The thing about country rap is that country music artists have been rapping forever. You know what I mean? Like, if you digest any kind of country music, you'll understand like there are always parts in the song where they talking, basically like rhythmic poetry spoken with no melody over a rhythm is rap. That's rapping. You know what I mean? Like, and that's been done a long time. You know what I mean? So the devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in the bind. He's way behind. He's looking to make a deal. That's hip hop. It's masked with different production, but it's rap. Johnny Cash. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of rapping. So rap in country is not a new concept. Like 808s in country is a new concept. And like, so when you involve that kind of production style over like, over country concepts and country melodies, yeah, that's kind of a new thing. But it's not really reinventing the wheel. It's just pushing it towards something that is an evolved version of what it's always been anyway. So I don't feel responsible at all for like creating something. I do feel like I was the first to step in the shoes in a lot of cases, but I didn't make the shoes. I just wore them. You know what I mean? I just discovered them. You know what I mean? I was like, oh yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna do it like this, do it like that, and I'm gonna put the light on it, so to speak. But by no means was I an inventor of anything. I was a student. I'm still a student, and I think the problem is a lot of these guys or girls or whatever the fuck, can you even say that anymore? They act like it was something they just stumbled on. And then when everybody's giving them all the fucking accolades for what they're doing, they don't take a second to say, hey, this didn't come from me. I got this from here. I got this from there. It's like they just get so greedy with this. I don't know what the fuck it is. I've never understood it. But I think that is the main issue. You know what I mean? Like, just keep it real, dude. You ain't come up with that shit. Get out of here.
What do you think about when you think of Trial by Fire, that album? What comes to mind for you?
When I think about Trial by Fire, I think about Winona Judd. That's, that's like my mom, my aunt, you know what I mean? Like Winona's been a part of my life since I was, I don't know, 7 years old, like we used to go to church. Well, we didn't go to, I was at the church she was at, okay? Because my mama drugged me to that church. It was a social that, it wasn't like a fucking little church in the corner next to a creek. I'm talking about a massive, like, Coliseum looking ass church in Franklin, actually Antioch, Tennessee. Close to Franklin, but Antioch, Tennessee. Waylon was there, and Winona was there, and Shooter was there. Shooter Jennings was there, and so we go way back, you know, because my mother at the time was married to Randy Travis, the stage manager. So when I think about Trial by Fire, I think about those roots, you know, because I was like, man, you know, this is me tipping my hat to country music and my relationship with country music. Me being on the road with Dwight Yoakam, me being on the road with Alabama, me being personally in Fort Payne, Alabama, at the June Jam, you know, with Travis Tritt, and you know, my relationship with John McBride, Martina McBride, my relationship with Jesse Coulter, you know what I mean, like these through Shooter, through struggle, I felt like I just wanted to give the best piece of what I thought was deserving of hip hop and country. That's all. Like if we're gonna do it right. And Lee Bryce, you know what I mean? My brother Lee Bryce, you know? Like just let's do this at its highest form and try to make it the best it could be. And Josh Headley for Shadows. Right after Josh Headley and I did Shadows on Trial by Fire. This is another memory from Trial by Fire, is that like a month after he signed with Jack White. Jack White signed him. Whoop, scooped him right out from under me. And I had a deal on the table for Josh. I put him in a music video, gave him his first look, scooped him. That's, God damn it, dude.
You know, this project is a little, I was actually caught off guard with this being a double album. You know, to me, I feel like the Trunk Music series always does a great job of setting up your creative projects. You know, you drop, you know, Trunk Music. Next year we get Radioactive. You know, we drop Trunk Music Returns. Right after that, 2 years after that, we get Love Story. You know, you get Trunk Music 3, then we get Ghetto Cowboy. You know, this is Trunk Music Forever at the same time as War Story. What was behind the decision to bundle them?
Man, first of all, thank you for noticing that. You know, and you know, the reason why I decided to make this a double album is because I didn't feel like I had the time, nor did it seem necessary to do two different albums, because two of my best friends in the world that I work with, Malay and Willpower. I did this record with Malay in LA, and I wrote this whole album here at the Sunset Marquee with no music. I was here for a couple weeks, and Malay would call me in the morning and be like, yo man, today's BPM is whatever, 85, 90, whatever, here's like a break beat. But there was no melody, no nothing. And I would write all the rhymes, all the melodies, all the songs. I show up to the studio and we recorded every day at 2 p.m. and by 3 I was done. And after that, he just produced it, and it just became this crazy body of work. I was like, man, this is incredible. I'm gonna take this back and I'm gonna play it for Willpower, because I had already told Willpower we're gonna do a Trump Music Forever. I told him that before I even came here to do this album with Malay, right? So I went back and I was like, hey man, this is what we're up against. And I played him the Michael Wayne album that Malay and I did. And it fired him up so much. And he was like, all right, I'm ready, man, let's work. So went to Atlanta and did Trump Music Forever. And I felt like, I was like, dude, this is like, I'm putting out the best of both worlds as far as like two people that I've worked with for so long, and they deserve an equal release. Like they could not be intertwined. They're two different vibes. Like Trump Music Forever and Michael Wayne is two different vibes. So intertwining them, I thought was silly. I was like, it's not gonna make sense. Like in some playlist, it like this is this and that is that, you know. But let's put them out at the same time. yeah, so that's what we did. And War Story is like the answer to Love Story. It's like, you know, it's the same two producers that I did for Love Story. So War Story was a natural idea, and the, you know, what we've been through to get to this point, that was a natural title that came about. And yeah, man, we just went with we went with our gut instinct, man. It just needed to come out all at the same time. So it's now it's out. Number 1 when it dropped. Number 6 on Amazon right now. Like, what is it? You can say it out loud. You can fucking edit it.
Spotify.
Number 6 on Spotify.
Yeah, all albums.
Number 6 on Spotify for all albums, all genres.
I don't know if it's all genres. Let me see.
Fuck out of here. That don't make no sense.
You know,
whatever. It's doing good.
It's doing great.
Yeah, it's working out. It's definitely working out.
Albums debuted in the USA, number 6 on Spotify.
I was actually, you know, songs like New Me, you know, the video for that I think is amazing. It looks like Gadsden, Alabama. You know what I mean? I love, and also love Legend. The video for that feels epic, apocalyptic at the same time. Both those songs feel like you're reintroducing yourself in a way to me. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah. It's fair to say I'm reintroducing myself. I like, you know, I people, dude, it's like every 5 to 10 years you have these kids that are 15, you know what I mean? Now they're 20, or they were 15 and now they're 25. And they're starting to realize who they like and what it is that they are truly moved by. So the things that they were attracted to, or the music, or the musicians, or the artists that they thought that they loved when they were a 15-year-old kid, may not be the case when they're 20, 25 years old. And the fans are getting younger in my shows. I see it. And I see those kids who are now like, may have been on the fence, and now they're on board. You know what I mean? Because they didn't really know what they really liked 10 years ago. You know, now they're like, oh, this is my shit, you know? And that's, man, nothing feels better than that, you know? So I do feel a responsibility to reintroduce myself, you know what I mean? Like, for this record, some things have been said before, but they haven't been said quite like the way I'm saying it on War Story. And then there's some things that I'm talking about that I've never spoken about at all, like Looking Over with DJ Paul, you know, about a car wreck that I was in with my mother, or marijuana, about my, you know, about selling your soul, and, you know, what that actually means to me, you know what I mean? So there's certain things that I hit on that I've never spoken on before, and some things are like a graduation, like Cars is a graduation record, you know, like I remember like watching nice cars drive by and like, you know, wishing, wanting, you know, hustling to try to, and now it's just a part of my life, you know? So I feel like telling that to new fans, and also to fans that have been down for a long time, to remind them that the core is still there. You know what I mean? This record was about like, the title War Story is about like, look, dude, we've been through everything, and here it is. You know, here it is, and this is where we're going. But look, don't get it fucked up. We've been through a lot, so we're here to celebrate it. And like everything, like the single Everything, about like the underrated, underappreciated. You know, after a certain while, it starts to sound like a diss. You know, like, what are you saying? Yo, dog, I know nobody knows you, but I love you. It's like dog, you don't gotta remind me that motherfucker, you know, being reminded like, oh man, dog, he's sleeping on you. He's sleeping on you. He's sleeping. I was like, yeah, I get it, dog. I get it. I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know, you know. So it was kind of like,
Oh, sorry, keep going.
no. It was just like I had moments of feeling like where it gave me fuel to flex. You know what I mean? Like as an MC and as an artist, you know, but as an MC as well. Like, okay, let's get down on some wordplay shit. You know, like Bad News with Kasky.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible track.
Thank you. But that was like, you know, I love those opportunities. Like, you know, like I feed off of that shit.
Cars to me is really interesting because in our first conversation we ever had, you said that your favorite Eminem song was I Am. And in Cars, you're flexing that flow. You know, it feels like an homage, you know, to something that might have inspired you.
100%.
There's a couple of moments like that stood out to me. But to your point about people feeling like you're underrated, is it possible maybe because you experiment so much that maybe you get inspired by other sounds and other chambers of creativity that a lot of times those audiences don't necessarily cross over? I mean, it's very difficult to go from trap to country to rock and still have all those fans understand and still have all those ears at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, look, dude, it's extremely hard to market someone who's always changing. You know, like I accept that. I'm cool with that, you know? But like changing and evolving is my thing. That is my thing. So I think that I've warmed people up to expect the unexpected, and it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, especially after the rock and roll album I did with Shooter, that really opened up the gate. Like, it's all good. Like, I can do whatever I want to do. Thank God. It took a long time, and it was a battle to get to the point of like, look, man, I love music, all right? And like, I have a real talent in hip hop. That is my God-given gift. I have been given the gift of writing crazy hip hop. You know, like I know that for a fact. I do know also that there's so many other things that have inspired that pocket. And so I explore those things, you know what I mean, artistically, and I don't like hold back for the sake of what someone may think. You know, like I'm not gonna not go record some shit because I'm afraid of someone not liking it. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like I don't create music because I'm waiting for you to give me applaud. You know, you applaud me. Yay, it was great. That's not why I did that. You know what I mean? Although that's great, I love that. You know, I love that you appreciate it or you hate it. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to the studio and creating music because of that. So, you know, I think that like overall, man, like when listen, man, be like a creative in my space in particular, we're a dying breed, bro. Like we really are. And I would hope that I've inspired a younger artist or even any artist, you know, artist my age or older, to just fucking let go, dude. You know what I mean? Like let go, man. Like explore everything that is of yourself. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to fucking be appreciated by everybody. You know what I mean? Like fuck it. You know what I mean? Just do you, man, cuz like you will find like the more original and the more you dig into yourself, the more inspiration you'll see bleed over into other people that may end up changing the world. And I've seen that in my life for sure. You know, I've seen some of the drip leak over into some other artists that are literally global. You know, Ed Sheeran. You know, I did a whole album with Ed Sheeran. You know, when he was playing 300 cap rooms. So, you know, you just never know. You just got to do what you do.
I think there's a lot of baby Yelawolfs. I'll be honest. I mean, I know you've been very, you know.
I saw that like in animation. I'm like,
maybe it's
I went straight.
Maybe it's a lyric video. You never know. But yeah. I think that you're very humble. You know, I think that you've done a great job of championing all your influences, like the Roll On song with Kid Rock and Kool Herc. I mean, how many times people put Kool Herc in a video ever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of my favorite things about you. But I also think that, yeah, it's fair to say that there's a lot of lanes that are wide open that have been open to superstardom for other artists that are pioneering Yelawolf, at least for this era, at least for the past 20 years. I mean, who else can say they're on one train at the same time? You know, there's a level of diversity just in art, sound, creativity, penmanship, storytelling, bars that is very difficult for anyone to find or to land on. And there's a couple of people out there right now that are superstars without having had shown and proven themselves in the ways that you have. I think that's an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you. Man, I really appreciate that. I mean, we're just cut. Well, I ain't gonna say we. For whatever reason, I was telling my mama that the other day, I was like, you know, the recipe, whatever recipe on all the ingredients that built me as an artist, if I could gift that to someone, I would. It's very hard though. It's like not an easy path to walk. You know what I mean? It's extremely hard, but it's so rewarding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know anyone that has done it quite like the way that I did it. Like who's going to see 3 6 Mafia Mystical in 1997 at the Atrium? You know? Like, with all gangsters. You know what I mean? Like, pulling up all gangsters. You know what I mean? Like, period. Like, those experiences and, like, me throwing myself into situations like all the Chitlin circuit and all, like, you know, like, all the strip clubs and, like, going to Bessemer and Birmingham and, you know, Anniston, Alabama, and pulling up to a strip club and grabbing the mic, an open mic, and, like, having to, like, really prove myself to be worthy to even have a microphone in my hand. Fucking 231. 231, like, this is kind of club of, like, Lil Boosie come to town. It's like Elvis come to town. You know what I mean? Like, it was different, bro. You know what I mean? And it was not, like, so culturally diverse. You know what I mean? Like, at all. Like, there may have been a couple white boys up in there. Like, maybe. Not normally. You know what I mean? Like, in the South, it was still so separated. So the fact that I was carrying into this world while simultaneously my mother is married to Randy Travis's stage manager. I'm also at the 3 6 Mafia show. I'm also in the street skateboarding. I'm also in the house with Revolt and Sever and Seventh Leather and AM7 crew, Ountzilla graffiti writers. And I'm also getting leaked in mixtapes from DJ SNS. I'm listening to fucking Souls of Mischief and Hieroglyphics and then in the background, Shooter and Waylon Jennings and, like, all these things, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it shaped me. So I'm honest about that, and thank God that I'm, you know, I've been given the gift to somehow mold that into an art that, like, is digestible. But yeah, you can't fuck with me. You can fucking go to One Train or fucking Sometimes Why.
Yeah.
Get it how you want, man. But I'm fucking keeping it real. That's me. You know what I mean? Like, that's me. You know what I mean? And you can go from Sometimes Why with me and Shooter Jennings, or you can go listen to me, DJ Muggs, Del the Funky Homo Sapien, and DJ Paul on Mile Zero.
Right.
You know? It's any way. You know what I mean? I just think like you have to be like a savage in a certain way, man. You know, to really like capture all of it. You know, like you have to fucking really push yourself into this shit. That's why it ain't for everybody.
I have a question just personally. I've been interested in. I don't want to go into the details because I think they're heavily documented. But you and Royce the 5'9" had conflict. You guys had a situation that happened. It was very public, or at least a story was public. We'll say that. But given everything that happened, what did you take away from that situation now? Do you feel like there's something you may have learned or a perspective that
We should dig
changed?
that, right?
No.
Okay.
No. I would like to address this.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I like the way he asked me.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That's all good. So, let's start from the top. Ask me again. Because I was distracted by that.
Yeah, given, you know, what happened or whatever happened between you and Royce the 5'9", looking back at that experience, is there something that you learned or maybe something you've taken away as you think about it today?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Royce is my brother, you know what I mean? And we've done incredible music together, you know what I mean? Like I've been invited to do records with Royce with like DJ Premier, and I'll put Royce on records with Ritz, you know, like we've intertwined music for years, you know? And what I learned from that situation was, you know, it just wasn't meant for me to carry the torch. In the South, let me back up. I was raised around Dukes of Hazzard and Leonard Skinner, okay? So the Dixie Flag was a part of my visual reality. You know what I mean? But I grew up around a mixed family. I'm from a mixed family, for real. Like, you know, if you said something even slightly racist, you got your fucking jaw slapped. You could not do that around me or my family at all. Now, when I grew up and I ended up in Atlanta, Georgia, we started a crew called Dixie Mafia. It was with Grip Plies, Shotty Fat, you know, rest in peace, both of them. Zoo Atlanta, myself, DJ Clever, and even Dax. Dax had a New South thing going on with Outkast. And so there was this turn on the Dixie Flag that we were trying to put into culture. You know what I mean? From Andre 3000 or 8-Ball MJG, Lil Jon. It was turning it. It was turning it on itself and owning it so that it could be ours and it could not be held against us. You know what I mean? Us as a culture. But the difference is, bro, like I became the guy in the crew. It could have been Grip Pliers and all things would have been fine. You know, and I would have been behind, you know what I mean? But I'm a white boy, bro. That's it. It doesn't, the desired effect, it doesn't have the same desired effect as it does if Andre 3000 rocks a Dixie Flag on his belt buckle and Sorry Miss Jackson. That has a different message. Now, I was with that shit. I was like, I understand this 100%, you know? I understand this. I know what this is. I'm with this. And I took it upon myself, and it boxed me in, right? Boxed me in this space, and it also opened up a lot of fucking white boys who didn't know shit about hip hop or shit about nothing, to be honest. They just saw that Dixie Flag and they thought, oh, I'm gonna be a fucking rapper and fucking do this country music bullshit. You know what I mean? Like they didn't get it. It was a protest, dog. I got red tattooed on my neck because they called me a redneck. You know what I mean? Like it was I'm trying to create a juxtaposition here. And what I realized and what I learned from that is that it's not up to me, man. It's not. I had to like deflate what I took on as a responsibility to help. You know what I mean? Because there's too much ignorance behind that shit. Too much dumb shit. There's too much hate. There's too much. It's just too much. It's too much. When I, you know, when that motherfucker ran up in that church, killed those people. Yo, dude, I called Killer Mike. I was crying, dude. I was like, man, I'm so sorry, dude. I don't. He's like, man, you ain't gotta say I'm sorry, bro. I was like, nah, man, I am, and this is fucked up. And I fucking banished everything around me that had anything to do with that motherfucking flag. You know, I was like, it's a wrap. It's over. These fucking idiots. They don't get it, dog. They're fucking everything. Everything's fucked. You know, and so I made this American flag, which is a flag that I created off of pen and paper myself. My flag. You know what I'm saying? And that's for everyone. And that's it. That's where I ended it. You know, and I wrote this record called To Whom It May Concern. And, you know, if you haven't heard it, please go listen to it. You know what I mean? I think I hit every point possible in that. But what I learned from that is like, look, man, I get it, bro. And, you know, culturally speaking, I understand my position, you know, and I am I'm a worthy guest in this house, you know, and I deserve to be here. But in saying that, I will also say that the rules are the fucking rules, and I get it, you know what I mean? And I just wasn't the vessel to carry that on. It just it wasn't for me to do. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? I got love for my brothers, dude. Like, end of story. You know, like, that'll never change. You know, that was a cultural tap. That was a bump down culturally. It wasn't no MC shit. Or else I would have got on some MC shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just listened. All right, I get it. You know what I mean? So it's just it's like cleaning house, man. It's like fucking like, and you know, it's like a fucking set. It's like setting yourself up for something that was like kind of impossible to get out of. But it's only because there's just a misunderstanding of how it was created in the first place, how I was created. Not just the message, but how me, Yelawolf, Michael Wayne, Aight, where I come from. You know, I'm not some podunk fucking white boy from the fucking country, don't know shit, you know what I mean? I was walking around in Harlem with fucking Pete Rock, you know what I mean? And fucking 99, dog. I was fucking doing promotions for De La Soul, Autobionics, walking around in a fucking spacesuit in New York and Brooklyn, you know? I'm from the grit, bro. I ain't from that dumb shit. Like, I know what I'm doing. It just didn't have the desired effect, that's all. So, I decline.
Yeah. Do you think that we'll discover Planet 9 first, or we'll actually have full confirmation of aliens being present on Earth?
What? Dude, okay. I mean, look, man. I may be the fucking prime example of aliens on Earth already. Planet 9. I've always believed in the ninth realm, the ninth galaxy. You know what I'm saying? I got 333 tattooed on my neck. 369. 9's the most high. You know, I believe in, you know, the Elohim, the green galaxy. You know, look. I done been to church. I went out to fucking with Dr. York in Edenton, Georgia, with the pyramids, and I did all the things. You know what I mean? Like, I was told Jesus was an alien. You know what I mean? I brought that shit back to my house, and my grandmother about slapped my head off my shoulders. I don't know what's gonna be discovered, quote unquote. I think we've discovered enough to know enough. Like, at this point, you're an idiot if you think shit's not going down out here. But like I said, like I've said before, I don't know if like some of this shit may just be a manifestation of Earth itself, because we're living on a living being, man. This is a creature. We're walking around on a creature. So it could be just, you know, Earth may be way smarter than we are. You know, and if she needs to handle some shit, she's gonna handle it. I don't know. I don't know if it's coming from outer space or it's coming from Mariana Trench up under some fucking cave or some shit. I don't know. Nothing's been proven yet, you know? I'm saying beam me up, though. I'm down.
We know it's coming one way or the other.
Yo, it's coming, man. It's coming, and I'm down. How many people they say is gonna go at the end of times? 40,000?
Something like that.
144,000. What type of bullshit? Only 144,000 people are gonna make it out of here alive. And fuck them. I don't want to live if I gotta live 144,000 of these motherfuckers, bro. What if they're complete idiots? 144,000 of who? What if you was with 144,000 politicians? 144,000 flat earthers. That's purgatory. You gotta argue with 144,000 people for all eternity? Man, I check out, man. I'm cool. Go ahead and drop the bomb on me. I'm done. I go out with the regulars.